Before I started this assignment, I had some pretty strong opinions on assessment, but I tried to keep an open mind through the research. I also thought that I knew quite a lot about assessment, but turns out that I had so much to learn. As a parent, I didn't like external tests like NAPLAN. Both my kids left school thinking that they were dumb because of the results from literacy and numeracy testing. The pressure for achieving never came from me, but other parents and students would obviously publicly compare scores, and also the school did do pre-planning for the test, so there would have been a bit of pressure there. I thought that my parent views would naturally follow through to my teacher views, but I think assessments are so essential for informing teaching and learning, but this assignment has made me think more about what good assessment should look like and what assessments I'll use. I don't think NAPLAN is all bad. I think it's a great experience for kids to feel what it's like to sit an exam, and I also think some of the results that come back can be used. I do think that just purely testing literacy and numeracy does tell our students that that is the most important thing that they will learn at school. I like these types of letters from teachers that talk about other qualities like sport, being good at sport, or being good at art, or being a good friend, that are important, that don't get tested in NAPLAN. If I was teaching a grade 3 or 5 class, I would ensure that I did that with my students just to put the test in perspective for them. It can't teach for everything. The National Assessment Program talk about equity in testing, but there is nothing equitable about a one-size-fits-all approach to testing. NAPLAN also claim that their results are used to inform teaching and learning and to find individual strengths and weaknesses for the students. I still argue that NAPLAN is primarily a marketing tool for schools that have a literacy and numeracy focus, and also that so schools and teachers are accountable to the government and to the public. I think it reinforces a culture of competitiveness that's not conducive to producing confident, creative, lifelong learners. I couldn't believe when I interviewed one parent and they told me that their child was asked to sit out of NAPLAN because of their learning difficulties. The more I probed, the more they felt that this would bring the school's mean score down, which is appalling if NAPLAN's aim is to improve learning for individual students and identify strengths and weaknesses. It seemed like this school was using it for a marketing tool, which obviously isn't the case for every school, but it is happening. ACARA stresses that they don't believe in teaching to the test, but there is evidence that this happens, which narrows curriculum options. It also decreases student motivation and increases stress in teachers and students. The parents that I spoke to didn't believe that NAPLAN results were very important to them or to their children. But if that's the case, why are schools seeking to use this as a marketing tool to promote themselves? If good literacy and numeracy results serve to market a school, then do parents believe that if a school is good at literacy and numeracy, then they're also good at all the other aspects of schooling, including the social aspect? Or maybe they care more about literacy and numeracy than they like to admit. I also considered the issue of reliability versus validity in this assignment, and I lean more towards the idea of tests being more valid. I think that PISA testing offers students more of an opportunity to show a greater range of skills, and given that its aim is to improve school systems worldwide, I think this type of external testing is incredibly beneficial. From researching the Victorian state system, I kind of got the feeling that they want to head in the same direction as international baccalaureate schools. I don't think that they're there yet. I believe that policy and governments probably hold them back. They still seem to have placed quite a high importance on reporting reliable results in maths, science and English. But what I liked about the IB schools is their process of assessment was much wider. They use things like exhibitions and inquiry learning, where they look at the methods, the thinking, the risk taking, as well as the results. They all get measured. I loved that they self and peer assessed, and I also really liked the idea of, in the exhibition, any part of the school community could give the student feedback, which is really helpful. But like Darling, Hammond and Harlan, I don't believe that future employers, are looking for employees who can feed back factual information to them. I believe that they're going to be looking for people who have learned how to learn, who have inquiry skills, who are effective communicators, who are deep thinkers, who have those sort of higher order thinking skills. So if that's the sort of future we're looking towards, then our assessment methods need to be able to measure achievement in those areas. So I believe that we should make sure that those are the goals that we're assessing as we move towards the 21st century.